Okay, first plant on the ident this week is the Leucosium vernum, the spring snowflake. Now this is a plant that grows from a bulb. As you can see, has narrow sort of strap shaped leaves and what we call umbels of bell-shaped white flowers. Each of the what we call tepals, they're not actually a petal, they're a mixture of a sepal and a petal. A tepal has this green tip to it, and they're about 2.5 centimeters in width. Flowers this time of year, grows to about 30 to 45 centimeters in height. Sun, semi-shade, a very reliable performer. The Leucosium vernum. The next plant on the list is the Narcissus minnow. It's a daffodil, and daffodils are structured into 13 different divisions. This one falls into the division Tazetta, which is division 8. So you could call it the Narcissus Tazetta minnow, but generally daffodils are just called by a genus name and their cultivar. Hence, that's what I've given you. You can see it's got a number of small flowers per stem. And those flowers are what we would call an umbel arrangement, and you can have up to 20 per stem. It grows to about 20 centimeters high. Will take full sun or partial shade. Likes a nice, well-drained soil. Just talk about the flower for a second. It's got a central cup or corona surrounded by 6 tepals. Again, that mixture of a petal and a sepal. Lovely little plant at this time of year, and makes a nice garden feature. Next up, we have the Cordyline australis, the cabbage palm, or the cabbage tree sometimes called. You will find this quite commonly in parks. Can grow to quite a nice sized tree, up to about 4 to 8 meters in height. Likes full sun, partial shade. It's got these very sharp, leathery leaves, sort of lanced, or how could you describe it? Sword-like, I suppose. Coming from a sort of central point, so it looks very spiky, very architectural in nature. Originally comes from New Zealand, and prefers a sheltered site with a little bit of sun during the day. Okay, next up we have the Fritillaria imperialis lutea. Lutea in Latin means yellow. These are another bulbous plant growing from a donut-like bulb, which you plant up to 20 centimeters deep in a nice rich soil. Needs lots of nutrient to grow. Very hungry plant. You see it has this base growth of strappy, lush green leaves, then a scape topped by these yellow flowers, which are about 5 centimeters long, sort of bell-shaped flowers. Usually 6 of them, and then there has that little crown at the top of leaf above the flower. Quite expensive to buy, so mark them in the garden so you don't dig them up because they don't like being disturbed, but a very attractive plant. Likes full sun or semi-shade. Okay, finally for this week we have the Yucca filamentosa bright edge. Bright edge for obvious reasons, that lighter edge to the variegated leaf. The leaf's very sharp, very hard, stiff, sword-shaped leaves, growing to around about, can go up to about 2 foot or 60 centimeters in length. Plant itself grows to about 1.5 to 2 meters with a large flower spike late in the summer, which bears sort of creamy white bell-shaped flowers all the way up the spike. So it's quite architectural, quite a stately, makes a point type plant. It's an evergreen. It's perennial, obviously. Can grow in slight shade, but prefers full sun and a good, well-drained soil.